Hello students, myself Anna Sahib Gorane, Rayat Shikshan Samstha's RBNB College Srirampur. I am junior college teacher in physics. Today we study the article from 12th science physics syllabus, AC circuits. We know electromagnetic induction. We also know Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Now here we study the AC circuits. There are two types of supply of electricity. Supply of electricity is of two types. DC supply, that is direct current supply, call it as DC supply, and alternating current supply. Alternating current is also called as AC supply. You know this DC and AC supply, but I will just revise what is DC supply and AC supply. Here fixed polarity of voltage is there. Fixed polarity of voltage. That is positive and negative. Polarity of voltage is fixed, positive or negative, at the ends of power supply. At the end of power supply. In alternating current supply or AC supply, polarity of voltage changes continuously. Polarity of voltage changes continuously. This is the main difference between DC supply and AC supply. Here the unidirectional current is there. Unidirectional. If we plot a graph of current versus phase omega t, the current is unidirectional. The current is unidirectional. Direction of the current changes periodically here. If we plot a graph of current against phase, the graph is sinusoidal like this. The direction of current changes periodically. The maximum value of the current here from positive side or from negative side is called as peak value of current, denoted by I0. Similarly, the maximum value of EMF in alternating supply is also called as peak value of EMF, and it is denoted by E0. See here, the direction of current or EMF changes periodically, or it changes sinusoidally. The maximum value of current or EMF on both the sides, positive as well as negative, is called as peak value of EMF or peak value of current. Television, computer, transistor, radio uses this AC, but firstly that AC is converted into DC in these devices by using rectifier. Some devices directly use the AC, for example fan, fridge, air conditioner, inductor heater, coil heater, they directly run on alternating supply. In this chapter we see the conduction of alternating current through resistors, inductors and capacitors. The generation of AC requires low cost and it is convenient for transport of electricity. So our main supply is AC because cost of generation is low and it is convenient for the transport at hydraulic power station or at thermoelectric power station, hydraulic power station, nuclear power station. These AC generators are there, and we know in AC generator we see some basic idea. In AC generator, the time dependent EMF or EMF is E0 sin omega t. This is the time dependent EMF in AC generator. Here this E0 is maximum value of EMF. Suppose this is E0, maximum value, or it is called as peak value of EMF. This is the time dependent EMF in AC generator. E0 is its maximum value, we call it as a peak value, and the direction of EMF or current changes here periodically. Omega is angular frequency of rotation of coil of generator, angular frequency of rotation of coil of the generator, and current in the circuit is given by the equation I0 sin omega t plus alpha. Alpha is the phase difference between EMF and current. The current also changes sinusoidally in AC generator. This is the equation for the EMF in AC generator. E0 is its peak value. Omega is the angular frequency of rotation of the coil of the AC generator, and current in the circuit is I is equal to I0 sin omega t plus alpha. Alpha is phase difference between current and EMF. Here this is the one cycle. This is one cycle of alternating EMF or current. The direction of EMF is reversed after every half rotation. The direction of EMF is reversed after every half rotation of the coil or revolution of the coil. Hence it is called as alternating EMF, and the current produced is alternating current. This is also a sinusoidal. The peak value of this alternating EMF or current is in either direction. Not only this is the peak value, but here this is also the peak value of EMF or current. Now we see what is the average value of or RMS value of current and EMF. This is one important article, the average value of alternating EMF or current. Average and RMS value. Our next article is average and RMS root mean square value of EMF and current in AC supply. We see such AC circuits here for which we use alternating current supply. the alternating current or voltage go through values of 0, see here, peak value 0, maximum value 0, again maximum value, like this. If we consider only one cycle, this is the one cycle, positive and negative. Here there is EMF, here there is phase. So this is 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi for the complete cycle. The alternating voltages and current go through values between 0 and peak value, 0 and peak value, again 0, again peak value to the other side, again 0 in one cycle. If we take average of this one cycle of EMF or current, that average will be 0 for one cycle, and that will be meaningless if we take the average of this one cycle. For the EMF or for the current, that average is 0. So to find average or mean value of AC, we consider only half cycle. We consider only half cycle, that is 0. This is pi by 2. Half cycle means this pi. And if we consider full cycle, here this is 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. For one complete cycle, we know average value is 0, and that will be meaningless. So average of all values of voltage or current we consider over one half cycle. Half cycle. Because average value for the complete cycle is 0, and that will be meaningless. So here, as this is a sinusoidal function or this is a sine wave, average value of sine theta, average value of sine theta for half cycle that is from 0 to pi is denoted by, that is from 0 to pi radian, that is denoted by average of this sine theta, average of sine theta from 0 to pi radian. It is equal to 0 to pi sine theta d theta divided by 0 to pi d theta. Very simple. To find the average, we find average of that sine theta for the half cycle, that is from 0 to pi. Formula is 0 to pi integration sine theta d theta upon 0 to pi d theta. This integration is minus cos theta. Limits from 0 to pi. This integration is theta. Again limit from 0 to pi. And if we find this average value of sine theta minus cos of, firstly we substitute here pi, cos pi, again minus, but there is already minus sign, minus cos of 0 divided by, substitute this value, theta as a pi, pi minus 0. Cos of phi is minus 1, minus minus that is plus 1, cos 0 is 1, minus minus plus 1 upon 2 pi, 1 plus 1 upon 2 pi, or that is not this is only pi, not 2 pi, that is 2 upon pi that is 2 upon 3.14. 1 plus 1 is 2, and here there is only pi. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 upon pi, 2 upon 3.14, and that is 0.637. So average value of this sine theta is, if we find the average value for the half cycle, is 0.637. Hence we write average current as 0.637 of its peak value, because we know I is equal to I0 sin omega t or sin theta. So average value is 0.637 I0. We also know E is equal to E0 sin theta or E0 sin omega t. Therefore E average will be also 0.637 I0, E0. E0 is the peak value of the EMF. We know I is equal to I0 sin omega t or sin theta, and that average value is this. We also know E is equal to E0 sin omega t, but sin omega t average value is 0.637. So we get the average value of EMF and current for half cycle as 0.637 I0, or E average is 0.637 E0. Now we see next point, that is the root mean square value. This is the average value. Now we see the root mean square, that is RMS value, or it is also called as virtual value, or it is the effective value. Concepts are very important. RMS value, root mean square value, RMS, that is root mean square value. It is also called as virtual value, or it is also called as effective value. Effective value of EMF or current. We know the average value for the half cycle. Now we see the concept of RMS value. Moving coil ammeter we know, and moving coil voltmeter measures the average value of current and voltage. But we know for one complete cycle of the AC, that average value is 0. Moving coil and voltmeter measures the average value of the current and voltage applied across it. As average value is 0, hence these moving coil instruments are not useful to measure alternating current and voltage, because they measures the average value. And we know for one complete cycle that average value is 0. So these instruments are not useful to measure the alternating current and voltage. So we use the property that does not depend on change in direction of AC voltage or current. We use such property which does not depend on change in direction of voltage or current, and that property is heating effect of electric current. Heating effect. The heat produced in a resistor, we know it is I square RT. When current I flows through it for time t, the current may be positive or negative, its square will be always positive, and this property does not depend on the change in direction of the current. Current may be positive or negative, its square will be positive. Heating effect does not depend on the change in direction of that current, and hence to find this root mean square value or to measure the AC voltage or current, we consider the concept root mean square value. Consider alternating current of peak value I0, that is the maximum value I0. We consider firstly alternating supply, alternating current of peak value I0 flowing through the resistance R for time t. Alternating current of peak value I0 flows through the resistance R for time t, and we measure heat produced in time t. We measure the heat produced. This heat is produced when the alternating current of peak value I0 flows through the resistance R for time t, and we know that heat produced is I square RT. I may be positive or negative. The square of current is always positive, and we get the value of heat produced, and suppose that heat produced is H. Now if same quantity of heat is produced, if same quantity of heat H is produced in same resistance R, the resistance is also the same in the same time t. By passing the steady direct current, we call it as also a steady direct current. Steady direct current of constant magnitude through it. See again the concept. We consider the alternating supply first. Its peak value is I0. This current is passed through the resistor for time t, and we measure the heat produced. If same quantity of heat is produced when steady direct current, that is DC, is passed through the same resistance for the same time, then value of such steady direct current, that is the DC, is called as root mean square value or effective value or virtual value of that alternating current. This value of steady direct current which produces the same heat in the same resistance for time t as produced by the alternating current, if the heat produced is same through the same resistance for the same time, then this steady direct current is called as root mean square value or virtual value or effective value of given alternating current, and it is denoted by IRMS. It is denoted by IRMS. Now we find the relation between IRMS and peak value, that is the maximum value. This relation is also very simple. We find the relation between RMS value and peak value. Peak value we know it is the maximum value of that alternating EMF or current. Now we find the relation between RMS value and peak value. Peak value, that is the maximum value. Now here we find the relation between RMS and peak value of alternating supply or AC supply, and we find this value for the complete cycle here, not for the half cycle, because here we consider the square of current, and square of current is always positive. We consider here a complete cycle, so I square RMS value, we know for the complete cycle, that is 0 to 2 pi. For half cycle we consider 0 to pi. Here we consider it for the complete cycle, I square d theta divided by 0 to 2 pi d theta. We have to find the relation between the RMS value and the peak value, that is the maximum value. I square RMS for the complete cycle 0 to 2 pi I square d theta upon 0 to 2 pi d theta. But we know I is equal to I0 sin omega t. We know I is equal to I0 sin omega t, but this omega t we also know it is a theta. So I is equal to I0 sin theta. I is equal to I0 sin theta. Hence I square RMS will be 0 to 2 pi 0 to 2 pi as I is equal to I0 sin omega t or I0 sin theta, I0 square sin square theta d theta. We simply substitute value of this I, that is I0 sin theta for the complete cycle divided by 0 to 2 pi integration of d theta. Now we solve these steps. I square RMS, next step will be like this. This is I square RMS is equal to, so this I square RMS, we take I0 square outside the integration, 0 to 2 pi sin square theta d theta. This integration is only theta, as this is only theta, this integration is only theta, and its limits from 0 to 2 pi. If you substitute first upper limit, that is 2 pi minus 0, and that will be 2 pi. So this denominator will be 2 pi. Denominator will be 2 pi. So next step is very simple steps. I0 square upon 2 pi, I square RMS is equal to I0 square upon 2 pi integration 0 to 2 pi sin square theta into d theta. Suppose this is the equation 1. Suppose this is equation 1. We know in trigonometry cos 2 theta, value of cos 2 theta is 1 minus 2 sin square theta. Therefore this 2 sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta, and hence this sin square theta will be 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2. Sin square theta will be 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2, and we substitute this value of sin square theta in equation 1. We write it as I square RMS, simple steps, that is I square RMS is equal to I0 square divided by 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi, and value of this sin square theta is 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2 into d theta. We solve this part, that is I square RMS is equal to I0 square upon 2 pi. If we multiply here inside the bracket by d theta and we solve that part, that is, and also again this 2 is here, we take here this 2 as into 2, this 2 we take here outside the integration, so this is 0 to 2 pi integration of d theta minus integration 0 to 2 pi cos 2 theta d theta. These steps are very simple. I0 square upon 2 pi into this 2, this integration is theta. If we substitute the limits, upper limit will be 2 pi minus 0. So by solving this part, this integration is theta. Limits from 0 to 2 pi minus 0 will be 2 pi. So this value, this integration value, by solving, this is 2 pi minus integration of cos 2 theta d theta is sin 2 theta upon 2. And again here limits are 0 to 2 pi. Limits are 0 to 2 pi. Now we substitute upper limit as 2 pi. This will be sin 2 into 2 pi sin 4 pi. But we know sin 4 pi is 0. If we substitute here theta as 2 pi first, then minus, and then we substitute the lower limit. As this lower limit is 0, that second term will be 0. But see the first term, 2 into 2 pi is 4 pi, sin 4 pi is 0. So value of this is 0, and we get I square RMS as I0 square upon 2 pi into 2. This will become 0. This part will become 0 because sin 4 pi is 0, and minus, again that limit is 0 into 2 pi. This 2 pi get cancelled, and we get I square RMS as I0 square upon 2. Taking the square root on both sides, we write RMS value of current as I0 upon root 2. RMS is I0 upon root 2. 1 upon root 2 is 0.707. So RMS is 0.707 of the peak value. RMS is 0.707 I0. Similarly, we write RMS as E0 upon root 2. Again 1 upon root 2 is 0.707. So this is RMS is 0.707 E0. So this is the relation between RMS value and peak value of EMF and current. Now we see the last point in this article. The heat produced, this equation is same as this equation we already derived. Now we see the heat produced by the sinusoidal AC, heat produced by alternating supply. We call it as sinusoidal AC. The relation is same as this relation, heat produced by the alternating supply, sinusoidal supply, over one complete cycle. As we know, H is I square RT, square of current into resistance into time. So heat produced for one complete cycle, that is 0 to capital T I square R dt. For the AC supply, the heat produced for the one complete cycle is I square R dt. But we know the instantaneous value of current is I is equal to I0 sin omega t. And if we substitute here this value, take R outside the integration, H is equal to R, integration from 0 to T, I square means I0 square sin square omega t into dt. I0 square sin square omega t into dt. Again this I0 is a constant value. We take it outside the integration, and hence H is R into I0 square, and our integration from 0 to capital T sin square omega t dt. H is equal to R into I0 square, and we know this value, that is sin square omega t dt is 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2, and limits from 0 to t. Again we take that 2 outside that bracket, so this heat will be, very simple expression, heat will be R I0 square divided by 2, and here again there is a dt term is there, this integration, and again multiply here by dt. 0 to t, 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2 into dt, and then we take the integration 0 to t sin square omega t value is, and here this is 0 to t. One main thing is value of sin square omega t is 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2, and we take the separate integration R I0 square upon 2 integration 0 to t into dt minus integration 0 to t cos 2 omega t into dt. We solve this part, cos 2 omega t into dt. This integration of dt is t, and for these two limits that value will be capital T. Very simple, R I0 square upon 2. By solving this, integration of dt is only t. Firstly we substitute the upper limit, that is capital T, then lower limit minus 0, so this value will be simply t, minus this integration we know sin 2 omega t upon 2 from 0 to capital T. From 0 to capital T. If we substitute here, see again next step, one more step, then you will get clear idea about it. This H will be R I0 square upon 2, this is t, this t as it is, minus sin 2 omega into this capital T, sin 2 omega into, instead of t we write this capital T, but this capital T is we know 2 pi upon omega, that capital T is 2 pi upon omega. Then minus, we substitute the lower limit, that will be 0. This omega get cancelled. Here there is upon 2, no doubt. Again this sin 4 pi will be 0, and as that sin 4 pi will be 0, this total term will be 0, and we get this heat produced as Ri0 square upon 2 into capital T, since this sin 4 pi is 0. So this heat is R by 2. Again this T is 2 pi upon omega, we know, into I0 square. This T is 2 pi upon omega into I0 square. R by 2 as it is. This T is 2 pi upon omega into I0 square. But this I0 square upon 2, we know it is I square RMS, or it is I RMS square, because we know I RMS is I0 upon root 2, hence I square RMS is I0 square upon 2. So this part is I square RMS, and hence we write heat produced as capital R I square RMS into that 2 pi upon omega. This is the heat produced by the alternating supply, R I square RMS into 2 pi upon omega. This is the time factor, I square R T, but for one cycle, that is the periodic time, that is 2 pi upon omega, and it is same as the heat produced by the DC current of magnitude I RMS for time T is equal to 2 pi upon omega. It is the same as, this is the heat produced by the alternating supply, I square R, this is the periodic time T. This heat produced by the alternating supply is same as the heat produced by the direct current of magnitude I square RMS for the time, this is the time T is equal to 2 pi upon omega. Okay, today we stop here. Thank you.